Oh, what? I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming.
Hello everybody and welcome to the legendary Grand Entertainment Wrestling Show. This is about episode 3 or 4, I have no idea. But anyways, the 2024 Royal Rumble just happened. So everybody welcome, grab your seats, grab all your freaking receipts, grab all your papers and all your stuff that you've written down yourself, or grab all your videos that you may have uploaded, grab all your freaking everything and your thoughts and ideas, and also just let's discuss in the comment section below and comment below. I'm just going to get that out of the way because this is just, it was interesting. Some people think it was disappointing, but here is my review on it and maybe a final score that I did not come up with until this very second. So it is January 30th, 6:40 p.m. where I'm at right now. I do want to say before getting into this entire thing, I'm going to put this before I even get into any of this. Of course, obviously, there will be spoilers. If you have not seen the 2024 Royal Rumble, go see it. It's some greatness. It's freaking legendary grand, I think. But we'll get more in depth onto that later on in this episode in edition of this show. But yeah, so definitely get prepared for that, and let's get straight into it. I meant to do this like freaking couple days ago when it actually initially released, but I just now got around to it. So without further ado, there's no other things to say besides, of course, let's all discuss it. So let's get right to it. I'm your host, the homie Zach710. I would have the Red Scorpion Mike Martinez here with me today, but he unfortunately is he's taking a vacation or he's on break or something. I don't know. But anyways, let's get straight to it. So the Women's Royal Rumble. So my prediction, really quickly. Going into this, Naomi made a return taking the number 2 spot in the Women's Royal Rumble, so that was awesome. As soon as I see it, I knew it was cool. I would have all the reactions and highlights and stuff that I made a separate video on with that, but I'm going to leave that in a separate video. I would love to throw that in this video, but that's just a lot of time that I don't have. So it will be linked in the description below. I'd have the live stream, but of course, as I expected and anticipated, WWE copyright blocked it from everybody seeing it, which is completely fine because I will upload the highlights from that, and hopefully that won't get taken down. I mean, it's up and everybody's seen the results and everything, so hopefully they're not pulling a Call of Duty where people can't use their competitive esports events clips anymore. That would be a very odd choice, I think, but whatever. With that out of the freaking way, after that, Jordan Grace from TNA champion, I think the Knockouts champion, came through and freaking was going off a lot of the time. I think she was one of the highest highlights, besides someone else I will be talking about later, in the Women's Royal Rumble. That was very interesting. I didn't know who she was initially because I haven't been keeping up with TNA as of recent. But I know that Red Scorpion Mike Martinez has because he pointed out that she is from that, and he instantly knew she was, and he popped off and freaking was like, "Oh, so," and I was like, "Yeah, I need to watch more so I can keep in the loop." But I'm very much welcoming the idea of TNA talent going into WWE. That's awesome. Makes more stuff happen, and especially in the Royal Rumbles, I think that's an awesome add addition, and I definitely would welcome that in future installments of the Royal Rumble, and especially with Mickie James when she was in the Royal Rumble a couple years back or so. That was awesome, and I was not expecting that either. But definitely something that's really cool, and if they do some kind of TNA WWE thing, I'd be all down for that also. So, as Valhalla came in at the spot, and then a few seconds later, for some reason, R-Truth came through. I don't know what happened there, but I was digging that for sure, 100,000%. And anything R-Truth has done pretty much since he's been in WWE, it's so good. He knows exactly how to do what he does, and just it's perfect. It was awesome. Some people for some reason didn't like it. I guess I think it was Charlotte or Nia Jax, one of the two, or someone else said they didn't like that spot. Which, why not? I mean, I mean, what was the issue about it? I thought it was freaking awesome and hilarious. But interrupting Valhalla, that was that was interesting for sure. And then the last note I have here, freaking at number 28, the least expected thing. I knew about it. I knew they were doing stuff. I was not expecting it. Neither was Red Scorpion Mike Martinez. But then next thing you know, guess who freaking came out? Guess who walked out? Guess who entranted it? Guess who entranced? Freaking Jade Cargill herself came through at number 28, eliminating Nia Jax. Freaking basically after taking out 4 to 5 superstars or something like that. My numbers could be completely off. I'm just going off the dome here. And then eliminating Becky Lynch and Naomi, which is insane. Just her presentation was really good, and I do like what WrestleMania said about her and her presentation. I definitely 100% agree with that. And then she got eliminated right after by, I believe, Liv Morgan and Bayley took them both out, I believe, if I remember correctly. Or Liv Morgan took Jade Cargill out, and then Bayley took Liv Morgan out, and capitalized on that victory and won the entire thing. I think with Bayley freaking won the Women's Royal Rumble, so that's freaking awesomeness. I think that works nice in storyline, either one she challenges, and it just fits well. And I also think that she will be challenging Io Sky. I would be down for a Bayley versus Io Sky match, or a Bayley versus Rhea Ripley match. Those would be very chef's kiss, top notch, and I didn't even freaking talk about anything but that so far. But you're gonna hear this after I talk about it. And then I'm down to see whatever comes out of it next. Moving on to the Fatal 4-Way Championship match that I was pretty hyped about. And I literally wrote down on my freaking calendar, and I was ready to hear about the contract signing. I was ready for this. Every superstar involved, I was pretty hyped for to see what's going on. I wrote down, this is the first time ever, I'm pretty sure, that I wrote down something was happening besides the Royal Rumble itself, the contract signing, so I could see what happens right before the match takes place. But there's a couple of spots that I liked also. AJ with the chair shots, pulling out a chair, freaking doing that to everybody, and then Randy RKOing everyone, and freaking that spot where he did his DDT was pretty hilarious, and just Randy Orton's doing awesome ever since he returned. And I've always liked Randy Orton. I've never disliked him. But then again, it's been a very long time, and I started really getting into professional wrestling about 2018 is when I started really getting into it, and started doing a lot of research. And since then, I've been heavily invested, and just really into this whole thing. So it's really cool to see how far I came from being a fan, but now definitely really being a fan. The more I understand about wrestling, it just makes it 10 times better than it already was. It was well worth it. Everything was hype for the freaking match. And was my expectations of the match as did it exceed that? Was it as much as I had expected? I'm not gonna lie, it was a good showing overall, but I think it was kind of expected how the way it would go down. Bloodline, of course, would interrupt the match in one way or another, and as soon as me and Mike Martinez, Red Scorpion, heard that it was a no DQ match, that's when we knew that it was that's when we knew. But because that wasn't actually said until the match happened, from my knowledge and as far as I know. So then, of course, Solo Sikoa came out and Samoan spiked, and freaking it was just a very interesting match overall. Of course, Roman won, and that was a pretty decent match. And I'm gonna give the rating overall for all the matches and both Royal Rumbles at the very end of the video. But so far, the best showing was the Women's Royal Rumble, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think the Royal Rumbles took the spotlight and definitely stole the whole show. Definitely, out of every match, the Women's Royal Rumble definitely was probably the one that was the best out of the entire card. I think I feel equal, actually, about the men's and the women's Royal Rumble, because Braun Breaker, one of my favorite duo and upcoming talents, is definitely, that was welcome for sure. I was definitely all down for that, especially because, I'm a big Scott Steiner guy, and freaking, the Steiner brothers and stuff like that, they be going off. But anyhow, next up here is Logan versus Kevin for the United States Championship. Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul. So I was a little bit interested. Kevin Owens was really the reason why I started getting interested. Then I heard that it was, I forgot that he was a kind of a prize fighter type of guy. So once I remembered that, I was like, oh shoot. And then I was like, all right, I'm full on down for this rivalry to go down. And then I didn't know that Logan Paul had the KO punch kind of thing, the Big Show kind of KO punch. That was definitely new and interesting. I didn't really see that coming, but it definitely makes sense. All I gotta say about this match is Logan Paul won by DQ. But of course, I was rooting for Kevin because overall, you can't go wrong with freaking Kevin Owens. I'm just saying. Logan's doing a little bit of stuff. He can put on a decent match. I'll give it to him for that. I'm still wanting to see more and seeing how he does. That Ricochet and Logan Paul spot from the last year's Royal Rumble, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that spot still was pretty lit, and I like that spot. That was definitely a good showing for the first impression of Logan Paul that I've seen, because I haven't seen any crown jewels since pretty much frickin'... Not even Goldberg versus Fiend. The last one I watched was the Brothers of Destruction versus DX, which was, and the Greatest Royal Rumble, which you guys know how the DX versus Brothers of Destruction went. That was, yeah. But anyways, the last pay-per-view, that doesn't make sense. The last match of the card. The men's Royal Rumble. This one, oh my gosh. I thought the women's Royal Rumble would have been the freaking last great thing. And don't get me wrong, the Fatal 4-Way was awesome. The least thing that I was excited for was Logan versus Kevin for the U.S. Championship, although I was all down for Kevin Owens because he's one of my favorite wrestlers as of recent, especially that theme. But the men's Royal Rumble. The freaking Usos facing off as the first couple entrants, Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso. Bruh, like that, I don't think that has been done before, at least that I've seen, and Red Scorpion Mike Martinez actually pointed it out, because I actually did not know about that either. I don't know how much he's been watching as of recent, but I've been keeping up a little bit, but I haven't actually sat down and watched a full Raw/SmackDown show for years, except I watched a little bit that had Cody Rhodes recently on Raw. That's the last one I watched, and then before that was some SmackDown, I think in 2021. And I mean, like, that was on television, though. That wasn't on, like, frickin' Hulu or something, because after that was Hulu, and I was watching some Raw. But anyways, the point is, for the first time ever, I think, in a Royal Rumble 2, that was an awesome frickin' just idea. I really liked that. That was an awesome start to it. And it was just really good, and it was good to see that go on, and it was freaking good. And Red Scorpion Mike Martinez was hoping he would be in the Final Four, and I was down for that too. Unfortunately, he got eliminated by question mark, and that was that for main event Jey Uso, which was very unfortunate. There was a couple of returns. Andrade returned at I think the 8th spot, if I remember correctly. And Sami Zayn at number 30. I was all down for Sami Zayn. And I'm interested to see Andrade's work, because when he was in the WWE before, and even in AEW, I haven't really sat down and watched his work before. So I was just hyped in general, because I thought he has a cool... I like his look. It looks pretty lit. And his style, from what I've seen a little bit of, I think I remember liking it. So I don't know. I liked what he did in the Royal Rumble, but I'd have to definitely invest more time into seeing what he got going. Because going forward, I'll try to watch as much as I can in my free time when I definitely can. But my favorite part about the Men's Royal Rumble, 100%, was both R-Truth trying to tag in with I can't remember, but he was trying to tag in for some reason, and then Braun Breaker, of course, was both of those parts were just the absolute best part of the Royal Rumble. And some people were kind of disappointed because there wasn't a lot of surprise entrants in both Royal Rumbles. And I was making jokes here and there saying that Goldberg or The Rock and Rikishi would enter at the same time. And I did that on the live stream. And you guys can see it on the highlights again, link in the description below if you guys want to check that out. And it was kind of just, it was good. And I was down. But I'll get into my ratings, of course, at the end of this video. And I can kind of see what people have been saying about the Royal Rumble. And, what was it? The Great One, exclamation point. YouTube, on his video about the Royal Rumble, he said that he was disappointed that CM Punk didn't win. I would have been down for either Cody or CM Punk to win because I want to see just something there. And CM Punk was definitely gassed out from what me and the Red Scorpion Mike Martinez saw. He was actually the one that pointed it out. And I kind of noticed it a little bit, but I didn't really pay attention to it at all. I was just kind of in the hype of the moment. And then he pointed out, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, actually. I guess he got injured after taking a Claymore kick or something like that from Drew McIntyre, or as I like to call him, Drew McIntyre sometimes. And he had a torn tricep ACL or something, if I remember. I don't know if that's what it's called, because I think the ACL is your hamstring or thigh or something. No idea. But yeah, he had a torn tricep or something because of it. That's why he's holding his arm for a lot of the match. And he was gassed out, so it must have really sucked and probably hurt quite a bit, I would not doubt. But it was a good showing of all the superstars. But we're not done yet. There is a couple more things. Frickin' Braun Breaker eliminating Omos, which was awesome. And then and a couple others. Then getting eliminated by Dominic Mysterio. That was interesting. And it's rumored, not confirmed, from what I know of, that Brock Lesnar was supposed to be in the Rumble, but due to reasons / allegations with Vince McMahon as of recent, he was not able to compete at all. I'd have been down for some Brock Lesnar to be in the Royal Rumble, but it is what it is, and it turned out to be a really good match nonetheless. And Braun Breaker taking a spot, I think, was a pretty good decision overall because, he's established probably a little bit by now, but I don't care. I'm always down for Braun Breaker. And I know one thing for sure, when I start watching NXT 2.0, the main thing I'm going to be watching for is Braun Breaker, hands down. But then after CM Punk, Gunther, and Cody being the last three, Gunther was eliminated, and then it was CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. And it was a tight match for a while. They were going back and forth. The crowd was not the greatest, and some people pointed that out, and I completely agree. I kind of hoped that the crowd would be kind of more into it, but I guess they just were all drunk and tired, or I don't know, or maybe didn't watch wrestling that much, or just wanted CM Punk to win is what I assume. They were behind Cody too, and the pops for some of the people like freaking Cody, Naomi, CM Punk, and there's just a loud pops, and I was all down for those pops too. But besides that, the crowd didn't really seem to be digging the entire thing, I feel like. They were into it, but not as much as they could have been. And I do agree with that being kind of one of the letdowns for sure. But then Cody ends up eliminating CM Punk and wins the entire thing, and most likely is going after Reigns, of course, and I am full on down for that match. And hopefully this rematch will be better than the first one, and I'm all down for that. Anything Cody or Reigns related, always down for a match there. So overall, I give this Royal Rumble, it wasn't perfect. There was a few botches, or a few botches, which is completely fine. It happens. I pointed it out a little bit there, and even said Botchamania in the freaking highlights. Again, link in the description below if you want to go check it out, you know what I'm saying, at any given time. Or after this video if you'd like. It was a really fun time, and I would give this Royal Rumble a 7 out of 10. No pun intended when I say 7 out of 10, by the way. I would give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't perfect, but a lot of the things, had gotten the point across, and I really think that it would be an 8, but there's a little bit of reasons why I didn't choose having the high score. Once again, one thing that I do agree with people saying, there wasn't a lot of surprise entrants, and that's kind of the thing of the Royal Rumble. That's kind of one of the reasons of the Royal Rumble, is you never know what's going to happen, and Triple H had a little bit in the beginning trying to hype it up a little bit, but there wasn't that much hype as much as it would have been if Hulk Hogan actually entered in the Royal Rumble, if Undertaker did, or even if The Rock did. Would be a welcome for any of those, or really anybody. I mean, yeah, there was a few things, and maybe a few to several things, but it could have been way more, especially if there was more surprise entrances. But for what it was, I definitely really liked it, and I cannot wait to see what's next in the Elimination Chamber, which is rumored to have The Rock there. And I thought he could have been an entrant in the Men's Royal Rumble, including Hulk Hogan, because, I mean, he even said himself that he might be in it, and I would have been down for that too. But that didn't happen. And Brock wasn't in it. That didn't happen either. So, yeah, so it was pretty good overall. And I really liked it. I wrote this during the day of, and that's what I got to say about that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys thought about the Royal Rumble in the comment section below, and anywhere else that you guys would like. Let's discuss in the comment section, or discuss with other people if you want to. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for coming to this video and spending your time with me for today. And I hope you guys have a grand legendary day or night wherever you may be. And it's been your boy, the homie Zach710, and I will see you guys next time on the legendary Grand Entertainment Wrestling show podcast thing series. Here are some bloopers as this video is finishing up. If you guys are wanting to see it, then I'm about to play all of them for you guys here, and some of the funny moments that happened during editing. And I did everything, by the way, at least for right now. But going forward, I hope you guys enjoy. These are the bloopers and outtakes and such. And thank you everybody for watching. I think with Bailey... Okay, I'll just throw this at the end. Actually, whatever, I'll just add this at the end. I think the Knockouts champion came through and freaking was going off a lot of the time. I think she was one of the highest highlights, besides someone else I will be talking about later, in the Women's Royal Rumble. That was very interesting. I didn't know who she was initially, because I haven't been keeping up with TNA as of recent. But I know that Red Scorpion Mike Martinez has, because he pointed out that she is from that, and he instantly knew she was. I can't English, but so as Valhalla came in the I'm gonna actually have to look this up. Women's Royal Rumble 2024 numbered spots thing. Make sure I know what I'm talking about. There's no way this freaking phone is this slow. This is actually freaking insane. Okay. I have not ate a single thing today, except like 2 things. Oh wait, I forgot I was supposed to... Where's the numbers? Need to know the numbers. 2024 Women's Royal Rumble, every entrant. Bruh, I'm gonna have to watch a 15-minute video to know one thing. Alright, screw this. Valhalla came in at the spot, and then